I want to talk about violent crime in particular. According to the most recent national violent crime stats released by the FBI, there are over 1.2 million violent crimes reported in the United States in the year 2020. This includes murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. Should this be a wake-up call for all of us? That crime, violent crime, is exploding. Now, what's the reason violent crime is exploding? Do you have a theory? Do you have a thought? Is it poverty, lack of education, mental illness? Is it substance abuse? Is it human beings being void of morality? Is it a combination? Is it the fact that maybe violent crime is skyrocketing because we've had a breakdown of the family unit? When children grow up in broken homes without a father figure, they're more likely to engage in criminal activity. The stats are actually staggering. In fact, a person has more chance of being a criminal if there is a mother and no father than a father and no mother, believe it or not. Maybe it's discipline, guidance. The decision-making process is clearly skewed. But the question that I ask, and I'll ask again, is it societal's problem? Is it your problem to fix a broken person from a broken family? And should you pay a price? Should your family's welfare be in jeopardy because some other family doesn't bring up their child properly? How much bend can we allow before the system breaks? How many chances does a repeat offender get before he or she exhausts his or her opportunity for freedom? How many chances do we give that person? How many innocent bystanders have to be dead? How many kids need to be lying in a pool of blood because they're caught in a crossfire, some gang war? How many meth heads get to break into your house and rob you, some cases at knife point, taking your goods, taking your valuables, taking your money, taking your sense of security? How many light or zero sentences have to be gavelled in because of progressive judges deem someone's criminal behavior as the fault of all of us? If your solution, by the way, if your solution, you being either a politician or just somebody out there listening to me right now, if your solution is to strengthen families, it's a great plan. Let's strengthen the family. What is your plan, though? Those are words. Those are hollow words. I've heard it a million times. You've heard it a million times. Let's strengthen the family. Let's really put an emphasis on the family unit. What does that mean? You want to promote family values? You want to promote marriage and having children? How do we do this when half of the population is fearful of even defining what a woman is? How are you going to define what a family is? How can a family have values when we all have no values? Society in general has zero values right now. Supporting parents who are struggling, more money, you want to throw more money at this? That's a lifetime fail. So I ask again, what's the solution? How are you going to strengthen families? What are you going to do? How are you going to legislate morality? How are you going to make sure that a dad is home or a mother is home? How do you legislate that? I don't know. I have no idea. You can't legislate morality. We've gone round and round on this forever. Fathers being more involved in their children's lives is a great idea. But fathers right now are mothers, and mothers are fathers, and mothers are non-binary, and intersex, and non-sex, and cross-genders. And you're teaching depravity at a kindergarten level? How are you expecting parents to have morals when you're teaching the kids that morals don't matter? So, yeah, social issues absolutely play a part in all of this. But nobody has come up with a plan other than just hollow words, listening to themselves talk. Progressives do this all the time. No, we'll just strengthen the family, or we'll do that. Oh, we have to make sure we throw money at the societal ills. Really, we've been doing that for 5 decades. And what do we got to show for it? We've got violent crime skyrocketing. So I'll say what I say to you guys all the time when we talk about crime and punishment. Social issues absolutely 1,000% play a part in a way to effectively stop violent criminal behavior. It's a part. But right now, the only way to stop a current criminal who's breaking and entering or raping or robbing or in some cases murdering folks is to lock them up. You've got to lock these people up. Remove the predators today, and we can worry about the feel-good social logic later. It's not a hard path to follow. Maybe our progressive weenie friends will feel guilty about that. I don't feel guilty about it. I feel zero guilt. I'm sorry if you were brought up in an abusive household, but it doesn't give you the right to go slit somebody's throat or to break into somebody's house at 3 o'clock in the morning to rob, rape, and pillage. Yet our politicians, not all of them, and I got to give our friends on the Republican side credit, they've been fighting on this one pretty hard since the last election. And I think they actually are making some headway and waking people up that if you're a criminal and you commit a crime and multiple crimes, you need to go to jail. You need to be removed from society. Now, if jail doesn't teach you an occupation, well, that's too damn bad. You stay in jail. Jail is not supposed to be fun. Jail is not supposed to be a desired destination. It's supposed to be the last place on earth you want to go. Hold people who commit these crimes accountable for their actions. And by the way, regular, everyday citizens should not be fearing for their safety. Ever! That's a failure of government. If you're a citizen and you triple lock your doors and you've got a gun in every room and you're scared to death when the house creaks because your neighborhood has violent break-ins every night, that's a failure of your political leaders. They failed you. This is not a baby. I'm not here on the planet to babysit you. If you can't be mature enough to live a life where you're not out robbing people, raping people, destroying property, you don't get to live in my society. Criminals need to be accountable, held for their actions, period. End of story. Police officers need to be fully supported and given the tools to do their job. And we need to enforce the laws and make sure in the end justice is served. You commit a crime of a violent nature, you go to jail. These cities that put up with this nonsense, where they let folks come into these different stores and literally loot them while they were open, those stores are pulling out of these major metropolis areas like San Francisco and Chicago. Walmarts are pulling out because people are going in robbing them with impunity. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Well, I care. I think the citizens of this country care. And I don't think anybody ever should have to worry about their safety. A hardworking American citizen should have to go to bed and worry as to whether or not that night's going to be the night that their house gets broken into. And that is not the kind of society I want to live in. So I asked the politicians to clean it up. It shouldn't be like that. Nobody should be living in fear.